We now bring in immigration attorney Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch, managing partner at Lincoln-Goldfinch Law. Good morning to you, Kate. As always, with all that's transpired in L.A. recently, and the Trump administration has always butted heads with California. I'm kind of surprised that this lawsuit is just now coming to fruition now. What do you make of the timing of this?
Well, I think it's great. I think the city of Los Angeles is standing up to the Trump administration, which is being a federal bully. And, the riots that occurred were because ICE was going in and they're behaving as bad actors. The way that they are behaving in these raids and that officers are wearing plain clothes and covering their faces with masks and essentially kidnapping people off the streets. That's why the people are responding and rioting. It's not because, there's a sanctuary policy that's causing unrest. So I think that it's great that the city is standing up, and it's, expected that the Trump administration would file a lawsuit, but there's a part of the Constitution called the Anti-Commandeering Clause, which says that the federal government can't force local jurisdictions to enforce federal policy. So, I think federal litigation these days, nobody knows which way it's going to go, but I think that the city has a strong position in this litigation.
President Trump's lawsuit says that Los Angeles violates the Constitution's Supremacy Clause by prohibiting the government's ability to enforce laws enacted by Congress. How strong do you think Trump's argument is, though, that he overwhelmingly won the election by a landslide? People, came forward to vote for him for immigration and economy, and that this is what people voted for. How strong is his argument?
I don't think that the federal government's argument is very strong. A city can be a sanctuary city and not share information with the federal government. The courts might come down to the portion of the policy that says that the city doesn't share information with the federal government, even in the case where someone might have committed or been charged with a crime. So I could see maybe the court coming out to say, okay, well, Los Angeles can be a sanctuary city and not allow ICE within its jails, but they must turn over information about people who have been charged or indicted, for example. We might see a decision like that. But I do think that ultimately the city has a much more powerful position grounded in the Constitution than the federal government does in this one.
What if the court does rule in President Trump's favor? What would the city then be forced to comply with? And I'm assuming other sanctuary cities as well.
Well, we would certainly see appeals. So it would go up to the circuit court and maybe even all the way up to the Supreme Court. We are seeing this in other jurisdictions. So I don't think that anything would be final. But at the end of the day, if the Trump administration prevails, what it will mean is that ICE would have essentially control over local law enforcement, could direct law enforcement to turn over information about people and maybe even cooperate with law enforcement actions. And that would be a really unfortunate day, I think, countrywide.
And with the ruling, regardless of outcome, does this set a precedent, for every other sanctuary city that's watching that the Trump administration has sued?
Not yet. It doesn't set a precedent yet, but I think the outcome of the court case will absolutely set a precedent, and a lot of other jurisdictions will be watching. And I, commend Los Angeles for standing up to a bully. I think that they're being brave as a city. But yes, we'll all be watching to see what happens.
I got to end it there, but Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch, thank you so much as always. Appreciate your time.